Hey gang, just keeping it consistent, coming in a day late on the roadmap roundup. Some interesting things in here. We're seeing 4.4 dropping into the hopper on these. So now we can go ahead and look and see what will actually be in November's patch, which should be pretty cool because we got SitCon, which kind of showed off a few things. Now this is going to be the first time that we'll get to see what their actual plan is post SitCon. And unlike previous sitcoms where it's kind of been at some point in the future you'll get these things, we're starting to get these features right now. Like the sense that I got from sitcon was these are the things that they're going to try to drop to us in like the next 6 months. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and get into it. So we got the roadmap roundup for 10/22 9 p.m. Usually this stuff at the top is all the same things here. So no bold changes for October 22nd, 2025. I mean, I kind of skip over most of this for 432 because the patch is out. If you really want to see what's in the patch, jump in the patch. It's the 3 guns from SitCon. The one that we haven't seen yet is the Blade VCK-1. These Vandal-inspired knives are a new melee weapon using the classic melee mechanics, but with a deadly alien twist. And keep in mind that Vandal are quite a bit bigger than a human, so a dagger for a Vandal is probably a sword for a human, which we've seen at least models of swords in Wicklow's place, so maybe we're getting it. Anvil Paladin, Asperia Stinger, Grey Market Shiv. Again, I've already done a video on those. Monocular Rangefinder. I mean, really, that's just a scope at that point. That's what a monocular is. It doesn't do much right now. It literally just zooms. That's all it does. And you can't zoom in and out. It's works almost exactly like a scope on a gun does. Mission pickup on location. This one is mildly disappointing because what we were thinking this was going to be was, let's say that you fly from Crusader to Area 18, and when you land in Area 18, you start getting Twitch Pacheco missions of, hey, I need you to do this. And you get missions from other mission givers in Area 18 saying, hey, I need you to run this box mission. I need you to pick up this thing. I need you to kill this person, so on and so forth. That's what we thought mission pickups was. Instead, it is specifically Wicklow's Emporium. When you look at the banners that are hanging in his Emporium, which they said Imperium, it's actually an Emporium, I think, unless he's actually formed an empire, which is certainly possible. They are Banu, but yeah, you click on the banner and it gives you the mission of how to do the loadout, which I think from what they described, many of us, myself definitely included, were thinking it was going to be something very different than what it ended up being. And that still may be in the cards, but it's not in the cards for this one. Apparently it is just Wicklow's Emporium. Anyway, moving on. 4.4, those where things get good. New Wicklow ship offerings. Speaking of which, adding multiple new vehicles and equipment to the ever-expanding Wicklow's Emporium. The Meteor, the Guardian MX, with upgraded components and unique base livery. These rewards can be unlocked by completing Wicklow's contracts. Hopefully they open up some more areas where some of those items are available. Shotgun pistol triple down. This one's amazing. Bolt action, mag drum, triple barrel, and a buckshot pistol. What the hell? Anyway, missile launcher boom tube. 3 rockets strapped together in a tube, releasing a single deadly payload. This weapon has a high spread and an arming distance, leading to its chaotic, unpredictable nature of finding the sweet spot distance. This is the one that they showed off at SitCon. Interstellar hauling missions. This looks neat. Implementing hauling missions that start in one system and finish in another. And this one is very interesting because to this point, they haven't been able to have missions that go across the shard. So when you cross from, or the shard of the server, whatever, when you cross from one star system to the other, you get a whole new lineup of missions. Like There's no bounty hunter mission that says, hey, this guy blew up a caterpillar and then ran to Pyro, go get him. There's nothing like that right now. This is the first indicator of that, and it's going to be a hauling mission. We'll get to, actually, it's the next one line. Exterior freight elevators, adding new ways of loading and unloading cargo in Nyx and Pyro. So I'm going to go on a short rant here. This is not scripted, so I don't know how short this will be, but Stanton, if there's anywhere that the exterior freight elevators that are primarily for loading and unloading whole seas should be implemented, it should be in Stanton, the system that's run by 4 corporations, as opposed to Pyro, which is criminal in nature or lawless, and Nyx, which is the frontier. A freight elevator would make way more sense in Stanton, but it sounds like Stanton's going to get it last, unless this is a typo and they just left Stanton off, which I don't think it is. I also want to make a point about Genesis, which is their new world builder. They're going to implement it in Nyx and then backfill Pyro and Stanton. Nyx originally did not have any habitable plants. A lot like Pyro. Pyro originally did not have any habitable plants. Those plants were not deadly, but they were very uncomfortable to live on. Things like Aberdeen. You wouldn't want to live there. It's really hot and really toxic, and you would generally land, hide something in a smuggle room, and leave, or raid something. Or it'd be an underground bunker would make sense, but you wouldn't be living out on the land. Now, Bloom is pretty damn pretty now, so you would definitely want to make something on Bloom one day, or even Pyro 4. But instead, they're going to make a planet in Nyx, which again was uninhabitable, which the hero location in Nyx was Levski. So why would people be living out on this weird little mining settlement when they could have a whole planet to live on? And yeah, they could do some things with lore, but I wish they would have. We need systems that are actually the frontier, that actually make sense, where stations really are the focus. Like people, there isn't habitable life on the planet, so people have to live in space, that kind of thing. And they're kind of, they took it away with Pyro, and they're taking it away with Nyx. It's kind of, are they going to do this with every single system? Because the systems are going to start to feel kind of uniform, even if each planet is different. It sort of seems like they could add more variety to the stations instead. So that was my mini rant. I think that they should have applied Genesis to the Stanton planets and leave Nyx with a derelict world. It just sort of seems like you could implement all of those biomes on like ArcCorp and Microtech, and maybe to a lesser degree Hurston, and it would be in lore and it would make sense more than Nyx, because if Nyx had a habitable planet this whole time, why would anyone live on Levski other than like a small commune or something? But anyway, so that's that. Nyx missions, pack 1, adding a first pack of missions to Nyx, using existing archetypes with a fresh new narrative spin against new enemies. And they really need the new narrative spin and against enemies. Right now, we have basically 2 types of mission. We have go collect the box, or go gank these people. And there's minor variations on that theme, but there's not anything like go and fix this thing, resupply these people, move people from one location to another, go repair this ship, move the cargo off of this ship that got like a bad mechanical issue. Fly out to it, pull the cargo off, and fly it back to us. That kind of thing. I guess that is going and picking up a box. But I mean, even the missions like man, I feel like I'm complaining a lot in this one. Anyway, like the missions like the original Kovalex mission, like an insurance matter, investigation in the insurance matter. There was no combat in that. You would go to Kovalex, Gundo Kovalex, fly around it, and you try to pick up all the clues that would tell you what happened to the station and whether this guy Darnell was actually guilty or not of whatever happened there. And depending on what you found, there was 2 different payment options. And that was my original mission, that if anyone was jumping into the game for the first time, I'd be like, run this mission, because it teaches you how to move around in 0G. No one plays that mission. Just do that. It is a great intro to the game. And I mean, we don't even have the find the body missions anymore. Anyway, Nyx jump points, including jump points between Nyx and Pyro, which does exist, and between Nyx and Stanton, which doesn't exist to lore, so don't expect that one to hang out for too much longer. I would think they're just doing it to kind of make navigation easier so that people so you don't have a chain, you've got a triangle, so people can do whatever they want to do between those 3 stations, as opposed to having to be on rails going through Pyro to visit the other 2. Vanduul NPC pilots. The Stinger, Glaive, Scythe, and Blade make an appearance as NPC ships flown by Vanduul. That is pretty cool. Again, I was kind of hoping one of the first aliens in the game would be Tavarin, but Vanduul makes sense since we already got him for Squadron 42. I look forward to looting a Vanduul body from one of the ships and putting it in my storage locker. Sworn enemies, implementing a new operation welcoming players to Nyx. Intersec is looking for contractors willing to investigate abandoned QV logistics stations to follow the trail of Vanduul tech that was sold to ASD. So this is just kind of the continuation of the ASD missions. Nyx system, implementing the Nyx star system into the persistent universe. Cool. Glacium ring, implementing the Glacium ring, a dense asteroid belt located in the Nyx system, which is where Delamar and Nyx are, or Delamar and Levski are. Levski is on Delamar. Unlike Pyro, Nyx is supposed to be a mineral and ore rich system. So mining will be a huge draw in Nyx. Delamar, implementing Delamar, an inhabited asteroid in the Nyx system, home of the settlement Levski. Levski, implementing Levski, a settlement on the asteroid of Delamar in the Nyx system. Going to be my home as soon as it's in the game, because for the brief window that it was in the game, I think back in 2016 or 2017, I would always pack up everything for Port Olisar, go over to Levski, and that was where I'd play my game. QV service stations, implementing abandoned QV stations across Nyx, some now occupied by a new enemy faction. Medium battle tech armor, including a new medium battle tech armor. Wicklow medium battle tech armor, adding a new Wicklow medium battle tech armor that players can obtain by completing corresponding missions from Wicklow's Emporium. New hairstyles, 4.4, adding 1 additional hairstyle and 11 new facial hair customizations for your character. Let's go ahead and see what they look like. So here we are, 4.4. We'll come up here. Let's look at those new hairstyles. So there's our new beards. Nice. Not sure what that beard is. Probably 5 o'clock shadow. Maybe stubble. I don't know. Now they have to implement like gunslinging or fencing. But yeah, I'm not sure what the new hairstyle is. Probably the surf sweep over thing that all these guys have got. But anyway, new beards coming in, mutton chops. Oh, don't ever change Star Citizen. Okay, what we got here? This is the medium tech armor. We'll zoom in on it. That is pretty cool looking. Gotta admit, that's pretty cool looking. Very bulky. Let's go ahead and check out Wicklow's version. Come over here. So this... Oh, it's got the Predator Dread. So we'll finally get our Predator Dread armor. That's nice. Let's see. So we'll get rid of that. Interstellar hauling missions, again, it uses the whole sea. Freight elevators, if you don't know, the freight elevators are the ones where they're sort of lined up. They actually animate now in Pyro, so these platforms, you can land on the little platform, you can kind of see it right here, and open and close the cargo grid where the cargo lands, but they don't do anything yet, but they will once this features in the game, hopefully in mid-November, more likely late November. Next, jump points. Again, you know what a jump point looks like. Vanduul NPC pilots. Let's see if we can actually see one in there. Nope. Definitely going to get one of those bodies and hoard it somewhere, though. I'm not sick. You're sick. Delamar, again, big asteroid. We got Nick's system with, it's going to drop with the Glacium belt to start with, and then they'll add the other planets as it goes. There's a gas giant, and then they've got the one that they're going to do all of the Genesis stuff with it. Probably becoming middle of next year, if I had to guess. Got the Glacium ring, Levski, QV service stations, which again, there's a whole talk about them at SitCon that's about 15 minutes long, very interesting. Sworn Enemies is the mission that you run there. Nick's mission packs, so I think this is the one that takes place in the underground on Levski, which we thought was going to be implemented in like ArcCorp and Hurston. Instead, they're going to be implementing it at Levski, which, hey, as long as we start getting those missions, it'd be kind of cool. And those should be very much go down, fix this thing. Hey, we lost a person down here. Could you go find them? That kind of thing. Or, hey, we've got criminals moving stuff, that kind of thing. New ship offerings, again, Meteor and the EMX, work in progress. Let's look at this triple down gun. Yep. 3 barrels, drum mag, and it shoots shotgun buckshot. That is hilarious. Did we need it in the game? No, but who knows? The boom tube. Ridiculous. That's kind of the whimsy this game has been missing. Anyway, gang, that's about all I got for this one. So thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.